We are ready to start. Roll call, please.
Dr. Cordolino,
Here.
Mrs. Fano, Mr. Palma,
Here.
Mr. Petrosino,
Here.
Mr. Rappaport,
Here.
Mrs. Smith, Ms. Zuckerman,
Here.
Mr. Daughtry, Dr. Modrak,
Here.
Mr. Brookhauser,
Here.
Ms. Patel.
Here.
Okay, pledges of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I should have had you all come up and say that. That would have been nice. Okay, Open Public Record Act.
The New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public and to advance notice of and to attend meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provision of the Act, the Montville Township Board of Education provided a public notice of this meeting, which included the time, date, and location, that was posted at the Montville Township Municipal Building, all Montville Public Schools, the Montville Public Library, the Montville Township Board of Education Administrative Office Building, the district website, and advertised in the Daily Record and the Montville Tap Into, the board's official newspapers, on April 17th, 2025.
Okay, thank you. High school student representatives report.
Good evening, everyone. So as usual, I'm going to start off with the sports. So the varsity baseball team now has a record of 7-12 after a win tonight over West Morris. The varsity boys golf team has a record of 8-7, with the varsity girls golf team having a record of 9-1. The boys varsity tennis team is now 7-11, and they had a game today versus Randolph. The varsity softball team is 15-4 and made it to the county finals, which took place this past Saturday, but unfortunately resulted in a loss. And the varsity girls flag football team is 4-2-1 with their next game on the 14th. For the school-related subjects, the juniors and seniors interested in signing up for the club PAL were able to do so last week. PAL is a club that was created to foster the upcoming 9th grade and new students to MTHS. The MTHS Theater Company held a Broadway night April 30th. The night was full of Broadway songs performed by 43 students. On Friday, May 2nd, the baseball team held a t-shirt fundraiser in the Rotunda for all MTHS students to buy and support the team. On May 8th, MTHS hosted its third annual National Marrow Donor Program, or NMDP swab event. 57 people swabbed during the hours of 10 to 12 during school to have the potential of saving lives around the world. And Miss Einstein's biotechnology class received the results for the base exam over the weekend, and this year our school had a 100% pass rate.
And now on to the present. Ticket sales for prom are still available until tomorrow, May 14th. AP testing is still going on, and it will end this Friday. Montville Township is also currently hosting a fundraiser for senior graduate parents to support their graduate by displaying a lawn sign with the graduate's first name in front of their home. Proceeds from the sale of graduation lawn signs will help support the Montville Township Drug Awareness Council to provide educational programs and information to both students and the community. And now for the future. On Monday, May 19th and Tuesday, May 20th, starting at 7 p.m. in the auditorium, there will be 2 different spring concerts showcasing large and small ensembles for all to enjoy. The concerts are free and open to all. Next Monday through Wednesday, 9th and 11th graders will be taking the NJSLA in math, language arts, and science. Senior breakfast will be held next Friday, May 23rd from 8 to 11 a.m. at the Mansion in Mountain Lakes. Prom will be held on Thursday, May 29th from 6 to 10 p.m. at the Grand in Totowa. On June 5th, MTHS will be hosting the Poster Symposium, where students in the Science, Research, and Design class, Research and Molecular Biology class, and Biotechnology classes will be presenting. That's all we have for today. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. A lot of good things, and good luck. And by the way, was it the coach's car that got hit? It was the coach's car. Yeah, don't park behind the dugout. Okay, thank you.
So I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. It's wonderful to see a great packed audience here. Just so you know, all the seating that you have right there, that's because of the advanced placement testing. Students will be taking the test tomorrow, so we just left it up this way. This is not our normal setup. So with that said, we're going to start off. Mr. Gelber and Ms. Cisneros, come on up, bring your students up, and explain what's going on with Junior Achievement Day. And parents, if you need to come up a little bit and you want to film a little better, you can. And this is all being recorded, so if you ever wanted to just watch it on YouTube, you could do that as well.
Good evening, and thank you to the Board of Education and Central Office staff for always supporting the programs that benefit our students. Montville Township High School partners with Junior Achievement of New Jersey to run High School Heroes. It's a program where trained high school students teach financial literacy, entrepreneurship, and career readiness to elementary school students. The JA program is aligned with New Jersey Social Studies standards and the Common Core for ELA and mathematics. Each year, our students and alumni from their elementary schools visit either Hilldale or William Mason to teach JA lessons, often in the same classrooms that they once sat in. Our high school heroes participate in this experience after being trained for an entire day by our high school heroes advisors, both Mr. Conroy and Miss Naturel. Tonight, we're proud to have a few of our high school heroes and the elementary school students with us to share more about their experience with the program. First, Mia Mangili will briefly share her experiences.
Hi, my name is Mia Mangili, and I'm a junior at Montville Township High School. This was my first year doing the Hilldale Hero High School program through the Junior Achievement. This year, I taught 4th grade with Tyler, who also went to Hilldale Elementary School with me. I had the great opportunity to teach the kids about how to run a business through the Our Region course. This experience was an amazing feeling because I got to give back to my elementary school that helped me mature and grow throughout the years I was there. I had no idea what to expect during my first day of training at the high school. I was so nervous I wasn't going to be able to teach kids all of the material I prepared at training. But the training was so important, and it helped me gather the information that I needed to make sure the kids understood what I was teaching them. As the day went on at Hilldale, I became more and more confident due to all the kids being super interested in my topic and getting excited to answer all of the questions. Standing in the classroom of my old elementary school, I couldn't help but reflect on how far I've come since I was once sitting in those same seats. It was surreal to be on the other side of the desk, teaching the students the way my teachers did for me. This experience allowed me to connect my past with my present, reminding me of the impact that learning and teaching can have on shaping who we become. I wanted to be able to do that for the kids I taught, to make sure they enjoyed what they were learning. I am so glad I got the chance to do this. It really gave me a new perspective on teaching and how grateful I am for my own teachers. I also like to thank Dr. Gelber for creating this opportunity for me. Now Tyler's going to talk about his experience.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Tyler Lieberman, and I'm currently a junior at Montville Township High School. For the past 2 years, I've had the privilege of participating in the High School Heroes program through Junior Achievement. Both years, I taught 4th grade students at Hilldale Elementary, my alma mater, which made the experience even more meaningful. The lessons we taught were part of a curriculum called Our Region, which connects directly to the 4th grade social studies standards. Through this program, students explored topics like community resources, basic economic principles, and entrepreneurship. One of the most impactful parts of the experience was stepping back into my old 4th grade classroom, not as a student, but as a teacher. It gave me a whole new appreciation for educators, as it's definitely not an easy job. I learned how to plan and deliver a lesson to an audience very different from my own peers, which helped me grow in confidence and communication. These are definitely skills that I'll carry with me into college and beyond. I would like to thank you guys for supporting programs like this that give students like me the chance to give back, the chance to learn, and the chance to lead. Now Aiden will be talking about his experience.
Good evening. My name is Aiden Blumenthal, and I am a junior at Montville Township High School. I am an alumnus of Hilldale Elementary, and I had the privilege of returning there the past 2 years for the High School Heroes program. I taught the Junior Achievement Our Region curriculum to 4th grade Miss Force class, and both years I worked alongside 2 peers I spent 6 years with at Hilldale Elementary. Before each visit, we spent a day fully preparing for the lesson, and I'll admit I was nervous the first year. The material was very overwhelming, and I was really scared, to be honest. And The full day of learning just helped me understand the curriculum and helped me be confident for the day that we were going to speak and teach the Hilldale students. And then the next year, this year, I took on a leadership role, helping my two peers become comfortable with the content and helping them feel the same way I was going into the year last year. One of my favorite memories was seeing the kids' excitement and engagement as we taught. It was rewarding to be their teacher for the day and knowing that we had an impact on their day and week. This experience has also taught me how difficult teaching can be, as I went to bed right after I got home. I've developed a deep respect for my teachers, and I don't understand how they could put up with us high schoolers. Thank you for allowing me to share this experience with you. Now, Mrs. Cisneros will talk.
Good evening. I just want to say thank you for this experience to all the high schoolers. They were mine. And Dr. Gallagher and the advisors. It was so nice. I love this program. Last year we only did it for a small group. This year we did it K-5. It was great, and I have some of my second graders who are going to come up and tell you their favorite part about the day. So come on. My name is Colin. You could stand here so they can see you, baby, because they're not going to see you.
Hello, my name is Colin, and my favorite part of Junior Achievement Day was when we learned about helping our community.
My name is Liam, and I loved working with money and making pizza out of stickers. My name is Michael. My favorite part of Junior Achievement Day was when we learned to pay for things, and we paid for things from our friends, and they were very cheap. That's why I liked it.
Hi, my name is Sarah. I love learning about the community helpers like police officers and firefighters.
Hello, my name's Julia, and I liked working with the high school students.
Good job. Thank you. You get this?
I had the pleasure to be able to go down there and see the things in action, and it's so interesting to hear that you were eaten alive by fourth graders. So it's not an easy task. And we just had Teacher Appreciation Week last week, but my last column that I just wrote was all about the future business leaders and the entrepreneurs of tomorrow. So you can see some of them here today, and we look forward to all of you helping us with that. And we have our future teachers here. There's a shortage of teachers in New Jersey, so we definitely need all of you as well. So this is a wonderful program, and it's just so great to seeing the alma mater, alumni, and things going back and forth, and the pride that the teachers felt seeing their former students come back. So wonderful job. Thank you so much. Anybody else?
Picture time. Parents, if you want to come up and get a picture. Daughter did it too. She went back to Hilldale and helped out that day.
It has a little bit. I think they're the only ones that have done it the whole way. I forget the other school. I think William Mason did it. Yeah.
That was the one that you said was crying. Always a troublemaker.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. All right. We also have another special treat for us. This one's going to be much quieter. We're going to bring up Dr. Spitzer and Ms. Gordon. You're going to bring up the students, and they're going to be speaking to us through sign language.
Good evening, Board of Education. My name is Tamara Spitzer, and I'm the supervisor of World Languages in ESL. This year, we are so proud to have added a fifth world language to our high school program with your amazing support, American Sign Language. American Sign Language is not just the study of a language, but also an entire beautiful microcosm within the United States. I would like to introduce our incredible American Sign Language teacher, Christine Gordon, who will introduce her students entirely in ASL.
So I'll come back. Students, come on back. So if you could just maybe talk to us for a moment using the microphone. That was wonderful, by the way. And I know that was really hard to get up in front of everybody and speak like that. So maybe can you just share like one or two things, and maybe just amongst all of you, like what's the most challenging, what's the most rewarding, what are you loving about that? Why did you choose this language?
Definitely the most challenging thing is trying to read what they're saying while they're finger spelling so fast. That's the most difficult that I have when my teacher, Miss Gordon, is like explaining things. And I'm like, what? What? Again? Again? And sometimes it's really rewarding when I understand what she's saying, and then I can tell my other students just a little overview of what she was saying, like either the sign or just like finger spelling a little slower for them. That's definitely the most rewarding. And while taking the class, just in my personal life, I've encountered deaf people with my extracurriculars. Like I do judo. I've experienced some deaf kids that I got to communicate with. It was really rewarding just like talking to them and experiencing like what they enjoy from having somebody here that could help them and having people that could understand them rather than just always having to use an app or having to either always have an interpreter with them, like a family member, just having somebody there that they can just be like, oh my God, hey, you know this? Like, that's so cool. So that's definitely the most rewarding. Thank you.
One of the things I struggle most with is definitely the sentence structure because it's different from English, but I'm slowly learning and I'm getting better at it. And the most rewarding thing I think is being able to like learn the signs and like see myself improve because I think that's so cool that I'm like picking up a language like this. Like I knew nothing, maybe the alphabet like halfway when I started the class. And so to see myself know so many signs by like the end of this year is great. And like I think it's something that I can apply and use in real life.
I think one of the hardest parts is taking like what you want to say in English and putting it into ASL because it is different and like you know what you want to say, but like you just can't, I guess, sign it out sometimes. But I think one of the best parts is also the community that like I've gained from taking this class. I have a wonderful class and I've made many friends through it. And I have an amazing teacher. I love her. Yeah. So I think it's overall a great experience. And I'm so sad that I couldn't do this earlier on in my high school year. I'm a senior now, so I couldn't take it freshman year. But I have a sister who's a freshman who will definitely take this class. Thank you.
How much of the language are the facial expressions?
A lot of it.
All of it.
All of it.
Yeah. It gives it meaning and tone, and yeah, it shows context. It can change the meaning of a sign. So I think it's really important that that's something that's really hard to master. But I think that they're really working on that, and it shows. It really does show in their everyday communication.
Thank you.
Guys, do any of you have any aspirations for doing this for a career?
I do. I want to become an interpreter with either being an elementary school teacher or just like traveling the world interpreting for music artists or just speakers.
Well, good for you. I'm glad to hear that. And for the rest of you, even if you're not doing it, it's just great enrichment.
I definitely want to continue it. Like I'm going to college and they have it at my college, so I'll definitely take it and continue that as a language.
And this is our first year that we just offered it, so we expect this program to grow and hopefully you just keep passing the word and verbally and through sign, and we really appreciate that. So thank you for everything. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys for your time this evening. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful. Yeah, a couple. All right. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, just before we go on, I just wanted to say that between this program and the kids who are here, again, I think just it's so important that we bring these people out here because I want the people in the district to see where their tax dollars are going, to see the product we're putting out, that actually the kids go to school and people say, well, what are our kids learning? And we say, this is what they're learning, whether it's this or the performances, robotics, there's so many different things we show, and the product of the good work that we're all doing in our schools comes out here, and I think we all definitely. I think I speak for everybody when I say we all appreciate it, and I'm sure the public does as well.
Absolutely. I mean, you see it with the sign language as well as with the entrepreneurs and the business leaders. These are practical skills that can be used right on the street and out there in the real world right away. So it's great stuff that they're learning in school. Absolutely.
Can I also just add that in addition to that, not only are they learning things, but they're learning how to give back to their community. We have possible teachers. We have kids who are teaching other kids. So we have a lot going on, and thank you all very much.
Great job tonight. Thank you. So just moving on with announcements, as mentioned in the student report, over the past 2 years, the district has been able to offer a new innovative academic offering at the high school. This is the science department administered the biotechnician assistant credentialing exam, which is called BASE. The high school is the first in New Jersey to administer this test for high school students taking biotechnology. BASE is an industry-recognized exam designed to assess core skills and knowledge and by the bioscience industry. All the biotech students this year, 15 of them, successfully passed the exam for the second year in a row. So wonderful news. Kudos go to Dr. Sandy Schwartz, the supervisor, and Heather Einstein, the teacher of the class.
Yeah, but last year they all passed as well.
Correct.
Eventually.
I just think this is, just like what Mike was saying, this is just another example of the kind of programming that we support. I mean, we don't think about it to do it, but we certainly support it. And it's what makes our school district so great.
Yeah. And we only get a very small inkling of what's going on by bringing these presentations. So we tried to vary them as much as possible. We had the middle school band, we had, choral, we had all these different things, so sign language. So we're trying to just show you everything that's going on in the school that are playing to all the interests of all the students.
And just to repeat, first in the state. That's amazing.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So we have 2 dates on the calendar for the board. Looking into the cell phone discussion. Following up on the request, we're going to go look at 2 schools, one being here, Montville High School. We're going to be offering for the board members on Friday, May 30th at 10:45 to see cell phones in action in the lunchroom, and then maybe visit some classrooms and see how students are using them and not using them. And then again on Friday, June 6th at 7:30 a.m., we will visit Ramsey High School to speak with the administrators and see the students in action at the earlier time, because they use the Yonder pouch when they enter the school to lock up their devices, and we want to see that being used in session. We had a run here for the past couple of months of having the board meetings at the high school. So next month, though, it's going to go back to the municipal building in Town Hall. So just make a note of that. We'll be back there. And that's all I have for that part. Any questions or anything? All right, so now we're going to go into the board goals as well as the district goals. I've given out several times to the board some ideas of what our goals are now, as well as what they could maybe do and change them or come up with new ones. These are just some samples that to give you ideas to work from. So tonight will be a work session on your board goals and as well as the district goals. And then hopefully we'll have that all wrapped up and ratified at the next meeting. So, Dave, you want to start?
Okay, so you all have copies of the board goals. The first page has 12 potential board goals, 4 of which are repeats from last year. The following page has the board goals for the previous 3 years. You can check them out. Looking at this, to be perfectly honest, I am very happy with our board goals that we've had for the past couple years. I personally believe that they are good goals, but that every year the superintendent changes up the action items under the goals. So I think that the goals represent a very positive, forward-looking position for the board. I think my personal feeling is that they should remain the same. I am obviously open to hearing what other people think. I think the goals 5 through 12, with the exception of 9, are really just action steps that we can fold into the other goals. I think goal 9 is part of goal 1, but that's my own personal feeling. So I will now open up, and let's hear. Michelle, you want to go? See what you all think about these.
No, when I had looked at it, I thought much of the same thing, because I feel like the first 4, cover facilities, academic, social, all the aspects that we want to cover. I mean, I don't know if we've been talking a lot, and just in Dr. Gorman's report about, number 7. So I don't know if we want to make it a specific goal, or it's just part of what we administer and are checking into, but it definitely is something that's at the forefront, and perhaps making it a goal will kind of give us that extra push and accountability to kind of take it through. So I don't know if it should be its own goal, or if we want to go beyond 5. I just kind of saw that and know where we are with it, and wondered how it applies. But I agree with your general sentiment about the 4 that we have, and constantly evolving them. I think that is definitely relevant. So,
Well, I'll say that generally we have 3 to 5 goals. More than 5 is getting to be a bit much, but generally 3, 4 is what we normally go for. We can talk about that. Mike, you also.
Yep. So I think it's good to move. I think goals 6 and 7 to a higher level, because these are 2 issues that is not just in our district but throughout the country, basically. First is the cell phone policy, or developing an appropriate cell phone policy within our schools. There's lots of evidence about how cell phones affect student learning, how brains can be rewired depending if you're learning something online through a cell phone or learning through tactile means. And it's something that's important. So even though it could be part of one of the other goals, I think at this point it's good to bubble it up to a higher level, because then it makes it a little bit more attentive, a little bit more actionable throughout our board year. And for goal 6, especially in the state, as we heard from Dr. Gorman previously, that a lot of districts are having issues with finances, and whether it's the cap or whatever else is happening, it's becoming a difficult issue. And as a board, I think we need to, one, be aware of it every time we're talking about our goals. Also, it will help bring this issue to the attention of the public every time we do talk about it, so that they're fully aware and not surprised in 2 years if we do need to make some sort of change, either a change to our programs or increasing the amount that we're collecting through taxes or something like that. So I think for those reasons, 6 and 7 would be beneficial to bubble up to a higher level, to be constantly in front of our attention and the public's attention.
Okay, thank you. All right. Mike?
Okay, well, I guess the question is, are these really goals, or are they visions? mean, with the exceptions of goals, projected goal 7 and 11/12, which I think are kind of the same, really. Most of these goals are basically our goals to do our job. And if the goals are really just our visions of the community, I have no problem leaving them as they are. And some of these other things can supplement them. I mean, goal 6, Mike talked about goal 6. And if you look at the way it is, it's really more of a vision than it is a goal. Now, if we start saying our goal is to start looking at alternative ways of funding, look how we can cut costs, plan ahead for what's potentially going to happen in the future with, budget, if the financial cliff hits us, then you can say, okay, that's really a goal. If you're saying to manage the district financially, that's really just a vision. So, again, I guess the question becomes, are we looking for specific goals? We want to do this, and this specific thing, or are we just looking for the vision of we want to promote this, and this, and this as our general way of we function?
So I am very much in agreement with the two of you, Mike and Mike. I like goals 6 and 7, but I also think goal 6 needs to be tweaked a little bit, as Mike mentioned, maybe to be more of a general financial awareness rather than, the specific wording that's in there. But if, and I think, Michelle, you brought up 7. That's at the forefront of everyone's mind. So why not make it a goal? I think that's also a great idea. And so I would push for moving those 2 in and moving goal 3 out to stay within Dave's bounds of 5 goals.
Karen? Yeah.
I just realized now that these are board goals, meaning they're the board's goals. And I would almost flip it and make these be the district goals, because we talk about the district goals quarterly. We don't really talk about our own board goals. And I think, coming up, as has been mentioned, we could face financial challenges in the future. And I think it is, as some of you have already said, very important to keep it in front of the public by having those quarterly goals. The other, the cell phone policy, I agree. We seem to be working on it and handling it. To make it a goal, I don't think adds any additional work, because we're already putting the work in. We've already had some discussion on that, and we have a field trip planned, so we're really moving on that. So to add it, if the board wants to add it, that's fine for me. I don't think it's too much of a heavy lift. And the other goal that was the 6. So yeah, so 6 and 7 are. I do believe that those in particular should be part of the district goals.
Should be part of district goals rather than.
Honestly, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do agree with, and then 6 and 7. I feel 6 has to happen on a regular basis at every meeting, and then 7 we're kind of halfway there. So I know we shouldn't have that many goals, but I think it might be, we can maybe discuss taking one of the 1 through 4 out.
Did you have anything?
No, I pretty much agree with everyone here. I'm looking at goal 3. I think we can remove that one and definitely implement 6 and 7. And again, tweaking with the words on goal 6 a little bit.
Well, I think it sounds like people would prefer to have goal 6 replace goal 3 with some maybe minor changes to it. So instead of us effectively managing the financial operations, something more along the lines of, first of all, overseeing, because we don't really manage the financial operations, but overseeing the district's management of the financial operations, and as part of that, maybe a task within that of reporting back.
Maybe with like the word forecasting in there somehow.
I like Karen's idea for number 6, moving that to the district goal level, not that being a board level.
Well, we can talk about the district goals in a moment, but I think it sounded like people wanted one of the board goals to be monitoring the progress of the administration, right?
I think so.
Isn't
I think
that
it's
what,
important
that's
for
what,
us.
that's what I thought it was. We were supposed to be monitoring the progress of the administration they would be keeping us abreast of their developments and their thoughts and where we're going with it.
Right. I mean, by definition of a district goal, aren't we monitoring those? I'm saying it doesn't need to be both places. So I think Karen's idea of bringing it to the forefront as a district goal might make more sense. I'm fine. I leaving it at a board goal, but I think we should maybe think about that.
I think there are different, when it comes to that, I think there are different roles of the board versus the district. Now, we would be monitoring their progress while they are then tasked with implementing that. And so so they really are two separate things.
Just to play
aren't
devil's advocate for a moment, if I look at the district goals, I don't see them being as relevant as the board goals. I mean, maybe that's harsh, but that's the way I look at it.
Right.
You know, the mental health issues, I think, are ongoing. It doesn't need to be a goal per se anymore. We have a very robust mental health program. The innovative learning is wrapped into one of the board goals. The safety and security, that has become part of our DNA. It doesn't need to be a goal for the district. And the long-range facility plan, again, I mean, we have, with the that was examined heavily during the referendum. So I'll say it again. I really think the board goals are more relevant, are better said to be the district goals.
So would you say keep the board goals the same and move goals 6 and 7 into the district goals?
I would definitely move 6 and 7 into the district goals.
But I would also point out that our board function is different than the district's
Well, we can
function.
reword it.
And so we can reword it, which is sort of what I was getting to, that we could have as a goal effective monitoring, effective oversight. But I mean, I don't want to mix board and district goals. And work between them at the same time. I think that's a little confusing, but I do think that the point is well taken that the finances.
I don't think I'm mixing them up. I think I'm specifically saying 6 and 7 should be district goals.
Am I
What, 6
crazy? Should
and
the
7?
board's goals and the district goals be aligned
Yes,
and be the
exactly.
exact same?
They should
essentially.
be
That's why I was just going, like,
disparate.
to your point, David, when you were saying they administer it and we oversight, right?
Yeah.
So they don't align right now at all. But if we have 4 major areas, which I think we kind of do, finance, facilities, the academic piece, the social emotional, specific, we can word them in such a way that it's the administration of it, and then our goals are the
Oversight.
Yeah.
And I think we haven't done that, and that's where kind of Karen was going with it, that it seemed like an aha moment to me. I mean, she kind of knows this stuff pretty well, but I think that it makes a lot of sense because we kind of do that anyway. But I think we agree on what those 4 main areas are. I would suggest we go back and
Rewrite them.
figure out how to word them and align them and come up with this, because you could even, the cell phone, and I think we have 4 and a 5th with cell phone, but investigating it with the district and us supporting that, I think they can go hand in hand in a very positive way.
I mean, a board goal could easily be that, we're going to work together as a group and enhance whatever. But to me, the district goals are those goals that Dr. Gorman is going to report on every quarter or more frequently, and the public is going to hear it. We never we never report on our goals. So what's the point of having these very important goals be in the board goals when we're not going to, we're not going to hear anything about them, and we're not going to do anything about them much. He's going to be doing all the work.
So, may I make a suggestion? Should we have one board goal, and that goal is the oversight of the administration, and help the district make the district goals
New
happen?
Jersey school boards won't like us.
Well,
Well,
they can't not like us. We have one.
we're all members. I don't know. I mean, that's how I feel. I feel that.
Well, I think maybe you are right that there's a lot of specificity in the board goals that really shouldn't be there. We do not promote a collaborative teaching environment.
It's not so much the specificity as it is the what it's saying.
Right.
These are far more actionable than.
Exactly.
And therefore, to me, they belong as district goals, not as board goals.
Right. Well, I'm sorry. That's what I was trying to say. They promote an action where we should not be involved. We do not promote anything. We oversee.
How about we table the board goals for now and create the district goals first?
Are you?
Don't use that word table.
Yes.
I didn't make any motions. I'm just talking.
Sorry, but just we're loosey-goosey right now. That's
Careful
fine.
for
We're
that.
having a good conversation.
That word. That's a very specific word.
Well, this is a draft session, right?
This is a
working session.
It is. I think maybe what we should do is we should talk about these board goals and turn them more into board functions of oversight.
No, take the board goals and just make them district goals. It's so much cleaner.
Okay, then
And we can eliminate goal 3 and just slip in goal 6.
What would you propose for board goals?
I don't know yet, because I don't like these. Boy, I'm really snarky tonight here.
Don't
I
get the
don't
district
like
goals.
these as the district goals.
Okay, that's
Okay.
fine. But let's talk about the board goals.
I don't want to talk about the board goals until we get the district goals down.
I think she makes a point too.
So you want to do district goals first? You want to
Yes,
drop?
I think they're far more important to
Okay.
solve.
Does anyone? Do you
Well, I'll say this: if I
agree?
look at these suggested board goals, taking, I guess, Karen's definition of what should be a board goal, and what should be a district goal, I think the only ones of these proposed board goals that clearly are something would be a board goal, not a district goal, would possibly be goals 2, 11, and 12. Everything else is really that's administration's job.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mike.
I'm not even sure if goal 2 is something that we do.
So why don't we, if we're saying we want to come up, say, with 4 district goals, should we walk through and see if we're comfortable with what they could be?
Okay. First of all, would people like to put our discussion of board goals to the side? Would you like to put and discuss district goals first?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Everyone. Okay. Let's flip over and talk about the district goals. And you can bring up anything you want. Would you like to propose a district goal? You do not obviously like these district goals?
No,
No, the ones that we've had for the past couple years.
because they're not relevant now.
Okay.
They were relevant then, but they're not relevant now.
Okay, so let's walk through this. Mental health issues. Does anyone believe that that is still a valid district goal? To
I
talk
wouldn't-
about.
It's always valid. Mental health is always
Very
valid,
important.
and we have a robust program.
Well-
We don't need to make it a goal because we've already exceeded the goal. Yes?
Yeah, we can revisit it as a goal in 3 years or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Okay, well, wait, actually, can I first just ask a question? What do you think is the most important district goal that we should have? What if you had to pick one district goal that you would put at the top of your list? What is it going to be?
At this point in time?
At this point in time.
Finances.
Yeah. Okay. So.
But a variation of number 6, because I think the district will effectively manage all financial operations of the district to ensure not just maximum amount of funding devoted to curriculum instruction assessment. I think it's more than that. I think it's just
And planning.
the continued financial viability to support what we currently have and looking forward to the future. Like
Planning, forecasting, predicting for, and projecting out for the future, whatever, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, whatever.
I mean, am I correct?
I'm sorry.
Sorry. Am I correct in saying that when we have these these district goals, it should be something like above and beyond what is normally part of our job? I mean, say, okay, how do I want to say this? We have, and this might not be a bad example, say we have very good curriculum, but the district might have a goal of trying to tweak the curriculum, say, in world language. And that's a bad example, but I'm saying the former to say education as a general, to say French world language is specific. And I'm not saying that should be a goal. I'm just saying that to try to distinguish a goal from a vision.
Yeah, the board goals, remember, just 2 years ago, was things that are more in your purview. So, for instance, you were at the negotiating table for the contract with the MTEA. You were on the front lines of the referendum. So, like, some of those things are a little bit bigger. All these goals will wind up on my lap. So, but you know, the board goals are going to be a little bit higher. Things are a little bit more your purview, and the district goals are going to be a little bit more of the meat and potatoes that we're going to be working on.
So if we do consider finance to be very important, have you heard enough from us to kind of craft a district goal out of what we're looking for in finance?
No, I need a few more minutes of hearing.
What?
No. I need a little bit more of
it doesn't
hearing
have to
where
happen
you're
today.
going.
Yeah, it doesn't have to happen today, right? Like he could
No,
come back.
no, but I want to make sure he has
I understand you want to focus on finance, but I think
Well, you know what our meeting was at Facilities and Finance tonight. I mean, the way that Katina's preparing for the future, you know, looking at the 26-27 budget already, because we're concerned about revenues and expenses, and Katina has laying out a plan to deal with that. And I think it's important because the public, our constituents should understand this could be a real challenge for us, and the only way is to keep talking about it, and we'll keep talking about it if it's a district goal. Does that help?
Right, so I'll be moving, right, so finance will move over to a district goal, take out manage, and try to get to forecasting, planning, you know, something like that.
I would just say too that I know finance is maybe top priority, but I think everything is secondary to the assessment of our programs and teachers and the education of our kids, and that should always kind of be number one. And that could be the one that stays as number one forever.
Absolutely.
And then
in fact,
maybe
I would enhance that.
I'm just going off the cuff.
Sort of
make
like,
number
are you talking
2.
about district goals?
District goals,
like
yeah.
District goal number 2, exploring,
To make-
evaluating innovative learning opportunities.
Make number
for all
one,
students.
a global goal to, assess our programs and personnel and in the further of our students' education, something along those lines.
Goal 1 could read, the district will promote a collaborative teaching, learning, and assessment environment that inspires creativity, innovation, differentiation to support all learners, and I would add, and promote the academic achievement of all learners.
Yes,
But that moves to district goal as number 1. And say the last part again, Karen, promote.
Yeah, I just added, and promote the academic achievement of all learners. It's a little redundant. You'd have to cross out a couple of things, but that just came from goal 9 because I wanted to specifically have academic achievement in there.
So it sounds like it's merging goals 1 and 9 and moving it to a district goal.
Yeah, the only phrase from goal 9 that I took out of it was promote the academic achievement.
It's essentially expanding District Goal 2. It's what
Yeah.
District Goal 2 is now,
And
but
making it
expanding
Goal
it.
1.
Right,
Yeah.
and, right.
That's fine. The order is very easy to move.
Well, appearances
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the new Go 2 would be what we started to talk about with finance. I think we would all agree with that, right?
You can even say, in light of the current financial situation in all districts across the state, the continued analysis of our budget projecting out over the next few years or, whatever.
Okay, so I have from board goals number 1 changed a little bit. I have number 6 with changes I have to do. So those 2 moved over to district. And then you had 2 more you said you wanted?
Well, is the cell phone policy going to move to district
yeah.
as well, since that's a specific actionable type of?
Yeah, we can
Yeah, but
definitely do that.
personally, I think that should fall under a broader category. To me, that's a series of steps without being a truly.
Well, if you wanted to
goal.
keep mental health as a goal, you could make
That's-
that an actionable item under mental
That's
health.
where I would put it. Yeah.
So, if we look at what's currently District Goal 1 and Board Goal 4, proposed 4, this is where Karen was talking about, like, Board Goal 4 is more specific than District Goal 1, and it really keeps in there the addressing of wellness, climate. It encompasses more than just one did. You could add mental health to Goal 4 of the board, and make that a district goal. It's the whole wellness and climate.
I mean, I would just keep goal 4 as a district goal. I would keep board goal 4 as a district goal. I would make it into a district goal.
Right, which is
And
more
just change the wording.
instead of what's number 1, because it's more specific and comprehensive.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
cell phone would be actionable under
Would be,
that
yeah.
goal. And then what was 6? 6 was the finances, right? Yeah.
Yes.
6 was finances. Okay, so we have 3 district goals so far. We have the curriculum and
We have what?
education.
Curriculum?
Well, education standards, curriculum,
Student
teaching,
achievement.
student achievement, all of that wraps in underneath of that one district goal.
And then if we're
And then
what's the re-
finances would be number 2, and then student health, mental health would be number 3.
And if we're looking for 5, I would propose 2 more. One being the continued search for, innovative ways to teach, something with that's, recently R&D, so to speak, for education.
Isn't
something
that part of the first goal? Aren't those more actionable steps under the first goal?
It does say here, it says collaborative teaching, learning,
Yeah.
and assessment environment that inspires creativity, innovation, and differentiation.
Yeah.
Not good enough?
I'm thinking one is just be great at educating, and one is, think of new ways and different ways to educate.
Well, I think that's part.
Let me just go
part of the
back.
same.
So you have number 1 of the board goals with some of the changes.
Yeah.
Number 4 of the board goals that, and then you wanted me to combine that a little bit with goal 1.
Yeah, board goal
Which would
4,
be,
district goal 1.
Okay, because you want to get cell phones underneath that one.
Yeah, and then board 7 goes underneath of
All right.
that.
So, and then the finance one. Okay, so you got three district goals.
Right. That's what we have, 3 district goals right now. I think it covers a lot there.
There's a lot there.
5 goals.
We could add back in the facilities thing too, if we want a 4th goal, just
District Goal 4, I was going to say, I
If
think
you
that's
want to keep
keep it as a goal.
I would not do, well,
long-range facility
long-
plan is still, that really is not wrapped up into any of the others.
Yeah, make
No,
it
it's
goal
not.
It's
4.
good to keep
Yeah.
that as the 4th
Okay.
one.
we'll keep goal 4. for
What I'd
district.
like to do for the board goals is see where these 4 district goals, I mean, we haven't redone
I
this like this in a
exactly
while.
agree.
And
We
like,
need to
let's
see
see
what
how
the
they're
district-
worded and then align the 4 board goals
Yep.
to the 4 district goals,
Yep.
which we haven't done. This is, yeah, I think
like
it makes so much sense.
Okay.
All right, so then for the board goals, just leave it as blank slate right now?
Yes.
Leave it
So
blank.
we'll talk in June, and then we'll work in July then on something.
Yeah, we're gonna have to then approve in July.
Okay, all right.
And I'll talk to you about.
So I have homework? Is that what I heard out of
Yes,
this? Like-
this whole conversation was to give you the
So
homework.
exactly, that's what I felt, right? No wonder why you all succeeded in school.
No,
So-
the board goal is to dump as much on you
That's
as
what I
we
heard.
possibly can.
That's what I heard.
and
That's not
avoid
our problem,
any
it's your
work-
problem.
and avoid
Someone's
any
on
work
Katine.
ourselves. Okay.
All right.
Any other comments about district goals
No,
for now?
that
We're
was a
gonna-
really good discussion.
Yeah. Okay, thank you all. Okay, do you have anything else, Tom?
I'm done.
Okay, Katine, would you like to say anything?
I have nothing.
Okay, but before I leave Katine, I would like to just say, as it was pointed out, finances are going to be getting tighter around here. We need to have this discussion more.
We will.
And
Now
I
it's a district
encourage-
goal.
I know, but I encourage my fellow board members to make sure that they are communicating with their PTCs as well, and discussing this with them so that they are also aware. But, okay, so that's enough, right? Good. Let's move on. Committee reports. What? Oh, one more.
Yes, I'm looking at the good news and it's just something you just have to revise when you put the agenda on the website. It says MTHS will host its annual spring concert on Monday, May 19th. That's not exactly accurate. Monday, May 19th is the small ensembles. The actual spring concert for the large ensembles is Tuesday, May 20th.
So we have to add the
Yes.
Tuesday, May 20th.
Yeah. I mean, May 20th is actual, what's billed as a spring concert. May 19th is small ensembles.
Okay. Anything else? No? Okay. Let's move on to committee reports. Karen, why don't you start us off with finance?
Rewind the tape.
No, you get.
Nothing, we met before this meeting, and pretty much what we've been talking about is what we were talking about. Challenging times ahead and excellent planning by our business administrator and her business office.
Yeah, and just to jump on that, you're correct. You'll be getting a lot more updates from us about that, but we are going to have to start looking into maybe some revenue streams, as well as maybe even possibly a future question about asking the community, can we go out for a little bit more money to keep the funding going of these excellent schools? So this is going to be the conversation for probably the next 10 months.
Yeah, you don't want to scare everyone first night out.
Nope.
We'll hold off some of
That's
that later, but yes, we will be adding to that every time. Okay, curriculum, Michelle.
No report.
Policy, John.
No report.
Okay. Communications, Joe.
No report.
Christine's not here. Karen, back to you for New Jersey School Boards.
So on May 2nd, the Board of Directors met. Some of the highlights were they are introducing an inaugural AI conference, preparing for today and tomorrow. It's scheduled for Friday, June 6th. We're well into Workshop 2025. The keynote speaker is going to be none other than Joe Theismann.
Oh, my God.
Yep, he'll be there on Wednesday, the 22nd. Lots of momentum with Workshop. There's already, districts are already registering their board members. We talked about the executive director's goals under the pillars of content, connection, and advocacy. And then on the delegate assembly on May 10th, there were 3 resolutions that were approved. The first one had to do with esports, basically recognizing esports as a legitimate sport. There was some conversation about school nurse certification. There was a referendum that wanted to allow school nurses to become school nurses with an associate's degree. School boards altered the language a little bit in the resolve clause to change it for the legislature to take any means necessary to help fill the gap and the lack of school nurses, so it passed with the revised wording. And then we also passed a resolution which would provide an excused absence for young men and women who are entering the trades if they need a day off to either take a test or job interview or something like that. And that was, the DA was my last DA as president. I am now the past president, and it was very sad. No, it was very good. It was a good meeting.
Are you still on the board?
I'm still on the executive committee, yeah.
I'm so sorry that you're no longer the board president.
It was a good run.
It was. Thank you for your service. Yeah, oh, and by the way, as a native of DC, when you mentioned Joe Theismann, I couldn't help but remember him from when he played for the Washington football team.
Yeah, pretty cool.
That's why I was very surprised to hear that he's going to be. Yeah. Okay, let's go on. Mike Rappaport, Morris County School Boards.
Yes, I apologize. I was not able to attend the May 7th meeting, but if any of the board members who did attend would like to say anything, they can jump in.
Yeah. So Joe and I were there. Joe was actually elected to the Board of Directors of Morris County School Boards. It was held on May 7th. It was the 3rd annual Nancy Helberg Memorial Recognition Award. And I have a special treat for Mike Palma. Mike, you were awarded a 20-year pin and a certificate in gratitude for 20 years of dedication to the children of Montville Township, School District, Morris County, and the state of New Jersey.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's actually technically 20 years for me. I forget the exact date. It was something along the lines of about April 20th of this year, but yes, 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations. Thank you so much. You've been very instrumental in this district.
Yep.
And thank you for thinking of me, Karen.
You get another pin. Karen, anything else?
Not for Morris School Boards.
Okay, not for Morris School Boards.
Something for Cedar.
Okay, Joe, Morris County Educational Services.
We have a meeting tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. on Zoom.
And drug awareness?
They had a meeting tonight, which I was just at, over at
Oh, is
the
that where you
community
were?
park, yes.
Okay.
They are actually discussing the 8th grade breakfast and presentation that goes on each year. They're in the process of planning that out. We're having Matt Bellis speak again for this year. And then also they're talking about rebranding the name of drug awareness to something new.
Something new.
Yes, so
Okay.
something different.
You let us know what that is. Okay. Athletic boosters. John, you're up.
So they had a meeting last week. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend. I know after all this time, they had an April meeting. They rescheduled it to May, but that wasn't a good date for me. But I did review some of the reports, and it looks like a healthy, functioning body. And I look forward to attending in the fall for their first meeting at 25-26.
If you can attend a meeting, and it goes for a lot of other people, just let me know. Maybe I'll be able to get out there and take your place.
Okay. And they are all virtual now, so it shouldn't be too much.
That should be much easier. Okay, but yeah, if you can't make a meeting, you just let me know, and whether it's a PTC or liaison, and I'll do my best to fill in for you.
All right.
Or maybe we could even all email each other, because maybe someone else, you know what I mean? 'Cause
Yeah.
it's not a bad
I think
thing.
that's a good idea. Okay, where are we now? Okay, Cedar Hill. Karen.
That was a busy night. The first part of the night I spent at the National Honor Society induction ceremony, and that's always a nice event. And then I attended the Cedar Hill Home and School meeting. And tomorrow night they're having their big fundraiser. It's a tricky tray. And I'm bringing with me an alum of Cedar Hill School, my daughter. So we plan to have a fun evening.
Great. So Christine's not here for Hilldale. Caitlin's not here for Valley View. John, back to you for William Mason.
William Mason, I was speaking with the president of the HSA, and they have a very interesting fundraiser coming up. On June 16th, there will be a helicopter flying over the school, and you could sign up and buy a uniquely numbered golf ball. And all of the golf balls will then be dropped from the helicopter, and whichever lands closest to the target will win the fundraiser. And so all the students are going to come out and see the helicopter, and it's going to fly away with William Mason blue smoke, and it's going to be a fun event.
Same golf ball that your son used to break the TV?
They'll get it closer to the target than I do on the golf course, that's for sure.
Okay, hope no one's standing underneath of that.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike Palma, Woodmont, anything?
We were supposed to have had a meeting yesterday. It was postponed to the last minute to next week. Monday.
Okay. Michelle Lazar?
To the point of missing meetings, they changed the time to make it earlier. Lazar had their last PTC meeting yesterday. Neither Joe or I can make it, but I do have an update from the meeting.
Okay.
They talked about all year-end stuff. They talked about how very large incoming 6th grade class coming in next year, and they're preparing for that. All the 8th grade end-of-year activities, and they introduced the new executive board for next year, and are looking forward to a good year next year.
Great, thank you. And then the high school I attended. You have anything else to add to it? No? Okay. And I would love to be able to tell you more than what you have already heard tonight, but our student reps, they pretty much stole everything I was going to say, talking about the upcoming concerts, and which Mike also remind us of, but also the mud exhibit, the physical art, the ceramics, and does that also have painting as well in the mud, or do they just do ceramics? Just ceramics, yeah. But that's coming up, I think, in June. We can get you find out a date for that for you later. And that's it. Public participation. Anyone wishing to come up and provide comments to the board, please come up and state your name. And okay, sorry, that joke is lost. That one's gone. Okay, I need a consent resolution for items I through N on the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Items I, questions on the minutes? No. Question, section J, questions? K, facilities, finances, anything? Kids, what's up?
Nothing.
Okay, don't make me turn this meeting around. No comments or questions on K, facilities, finances, fair amount there. L, personnel. Tom, you want to say something real quick?
Yes, I have a couple of things to say. We have several retirements, 3 retirements tonight. So we have Marissa Crozier. Her dedication to the Montville Public Schools has impacted students across multiple levels. From her social studies student teaching days at Montville Township High School to her work in special education at the middle school, and finally her return to teaching social studies at Lazar. Her journey reflects a deep commitment to our students. After a remarkable career dedicated to nurturing young minds, Beth Hughes is retiring from her role as an elementary school teacher. Throughout her years in the classroom, Beth has been the beacon of inspiration, known for her unwavering commitment to her students' growth and well-being. Beth's legacy is one of compassion, dedication, and excellence. Her influence will continue to resonate in the lives of countless students she taught and inspired. And the third one, we have John Pettit. He's a high school school psychologist. We wish him well in retirement. And for L5, appointment of substitutes, L5-1, we're going to strike from this agenda. It should not have gotten on there.
Yeah, just a duplicate.
Placed in error.
Yep, okay. Any other questions on section L? None. Section M, curriculum instruction. Seeing none, nothing in section N. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Rappaport?
Yes.
Ms. Zuckerman?
Abstain on I, yes on everything else?
Dr. Cordolino?
Yes.
Mr. Palma?
Yes.
Mr. Petrosino?
Abstain on I, yes to everything else.
Mr. Daughtry?
Yes.
Dr. Modrak?
Yes. Okay, no closed session. General board comments, new business? Yes, Karen.
Just to remind our board members that Relay for Life is coming up on June 7th from 4 to 10 here at the high school.
Okay. Anyone else? No. Our second public participation session. Anyone wishing to come to the microphone and provide comments, you are welcome to do so. Seeing none, ask for a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you. Okay, see you all next month.
Hey, Dave, the mics still work.
The mics still work,
Lasted the
yes.
whole night.
You're addressing all
Thank you for the new batteries.
They broke what last month?
Yeah, last meeting. They broke one by one by one by one.